Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in, I think, kind of on a missing piece. And that was really, how do you prepare for interactions with a covert narcissist? Someone who is kind of a bully. They're a bully really by withholding or by turning their back, their body language. As we're saying, the body can speak volumes. And you will see that just by their behavior, they can be very brusque, they can be very aggressive, but aggressively tuning you out, aggressively ignoring you, actively berating you through acting disinterested. And, my dentist, as I always say, I bring up different analogies. He used to have a poster in the dental office when you were laying back, and, it said, ignore your teeth and they'll go away. So it's kind of like if you neglect something, your health, if you neglect your teeth, if you neglect your responsibilities, they will deteriorate. They will break down. They will go away. He also had another poster that was right beside it, and it said, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. So I thought that was a beautiful thing. I thought that was so cool as a child, getting my teeth done in the Evanston area, through this, and great dentist, very comforting, never made you feel scared, did great work, but he, had utilized that ceiling. He didn't put on the ceiling, pressure, I'm the boss, open wide and shut up. I mean, he didn't say that. It was, he made it a safe environment to go through something that oftentimes is very scary for people. A lot of people do not go to the dentist. They're terrified for some reason of some sort of neurological pain or nerve pain, or they're just not uncomfortable releasing, because when you go to the dentist, you have to let them do their job. So you kind of have to let healing do its job. And when we the sort of ignoring, and how to prepare for that. If you have to engage, or you're playing it over in your mind, and then you've now absorbed it like a sponge, and you're feeling, almost like an aftermath. You can't stop ruminating of the experience. They did something horrible to you. It's like a boundary violation, and realize that the body, the neurology, when you constantly contradict somebody, or tell them that they're wrong, or they're not right, or they're meek, or you're not good enough, the body takes it like an attack. The body then goes into a defense mechanism mode, like it has to protect itself. And oftentimes that can be a real surge of energy, like anger, hatred, resentment, guilt, overwhelmed feelings. All these sort of things can be a resultant of that. So that's why, like, when you see people who are into debates, like lawyers, they have then learned how to overcome that very well. So if they feel like they have to work a point, they are prepared. They're not worried about their adversary. They're prepared for what their adversary is going to do, but they have all their ducks in a row. They have all their little, rocks lined up. They have all their little arrows, with their whole case, with their presentment, with what they're presenting. And then the other guy, so it can be very combative. So how do you prepare? How do you, stomach the situation, especially when they've made violations? They might have touched you inappropriately, scratched your face, said horrible things about you, which can hurt more than, a physical wound, or ignored you during very important times in your life when they just weren't even there. They were just acting like a stand-in, like they're just, like they're not really, there in the moment, because they have not given to you. If you have not given to somebody, you can't expect in return. So they're not giving people, even though they have the ego, the status, the charm, whatever it is that they're saying, they are not givers. It's very tough. It's it's kind of like an oxymoron. The ego people who you think have a big ego, they have no ego. They have no really I am. It's all about a facade. And then, the withholding and constant control and manipulation of others is how they engage. So it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you not being good enough. You're just in the presence of a very intense energy of this type of person. So it's just like a lawyer would be prepared. You have to say, well, that's this person. They're going to be around. They're going to be in this area. And, they're going to come at me or not come at me, which is a way of, like, if you don't make a choice, you're still making a choice. If they choose to ignore you, or if they don't make a choice to include you, then they're making a choice. So, feeling that to be the case and feeling being shunned or ostracized can be a very difficult thing. And it has nothing to do with you. It just has everything to do with them and keeping always their presence of power, not having any chink in the armor. They don't want to be able to be open. They're not open people. They're not approachable. And you would think, well, they're my family. This is my workplace. This is my neighborhood. This is my church. Whatever the setting, they are not this way, but it's contradictory. It's kind of like the oxymoron of the jumbo shrimp or the icy hot. It's kind of like those people with the biggest ego have the smallest, true heart presence. And so knowing that to be the case, you can't feel that you're not good enough. It's just meaning that you cannot connect with them energetically. And once you accept that and say, okay, cool, that's how they are. No big deal on me. Fly away. Okay, and away you go. I mean, just you let them go. And then they're gone. You have to allow that to be part of your preparation and forecast and anticipating. So knowing that this is going to be there, how are you going to relax your thoughts so you're not negatively evaluating the negative orderly direction thinking that I think of, that I say, because then you're asking all the wrong questions. Why are they ignoring me? Why don't they include? Well, you know what? Maybe you don't even want to be mistreated, so why would you go and be part of that inner circle? And so it's just like cut your losses, just cut, and just engage then in choices and decisions and experiences that are fulfilling to you. And so then you ask yourself, well, what can I do? What can I do today that's more liberating and freeing and satisfying? What can I do today that would be satisfying? What can I do that would make me happy, that would make me smile? What can I do today that would stop me from worrying? What can I do today that would stop me from being depleted? What can I do today that can stop this ruminating about this type of person? It's in my family, it's in my neighborhood, or it's part of what's where I'm at. Okay, great. Well, then there's me. And then there's me and me designing my life moving forward. When you are attacked like that, you're living in the limbic brain, which is that reactive brain. It's very difficult to have a consensus, a congruency, between the limbic brain and then your forebrain, where you're planning and dreaming and being happy. I mean, you're not able to live in that part of the brain while you're under fear, while you're under siege. As we mentioned, the covert narcissist, your body experiences it as an attack. So just as we say, like when the bear is running, and you feel like you have to run for your life, it's that same fight or flight feeling of attack that the body goes into, and then the adrenals, the cortisol, the trying to appease them, reduce the tension. So, realizing that has had this effect. Okay, we've learned that now, and saying, so what can I do today to get out of that fight or flight mode? Can I do my housework more peacefully? Can I do my work more peacefully? Can I focus on getting a good job? Can I focus on getting good friends? Can I focus on having some laughs? Can I watch some comedy? Can I just watch some simple-minded, fun comedy? What can I do to just enjoy the finer things of life? The fine art, the fine architecture, the fine animals. Who can I meet that's like salt of the earth, or the real people who I can go and shake hands and just say, sir, I've always wanted to meet somebody like you. Pleased to meet you. And shake the hands of somebody. Reach out from your heart and give it light and give it fire and give it warmth. And you might even feel like you're going to cry, or that you're being guided, that you feel kind of maybe sad, but it's almost like tears of joy that you feel by engaging in that space and going and petting that horse. And, and just talking to the people who do the ranchers and ask them about where they got their boots, or what other activities do you have, or where you go fishing, and meet someone who's been fishing there for years, or some new kids, teach them how to, thread a hook. People who you don't even know. I mean, open up your arms, open up your heart, because the world is out there for you to engage in that fun and that spontaneous interaction where you can meet people, you can learn new skills, you can get good jobs, you can get good relationships. It comes a lot with that inner belief, which you then need to have, which is separate from, it's distilled out from that experience from that narcissist. So getting prepared is getting in that space and staying in that space and knowing that space is yours and that you know better. You know their tactics. You know better. You know better than that. And so you know better than to feel victimized because you're not their they're not your perpetrator anymore. You're not taking that role. So if it means being there in a limited way or getting that energy about you, you need to be prepared. Just like if it's going to rain, you need an umbrella. You need to have your preparation and then just let it be. And it's not to overthink. The solution is in that happy be state, which is completely clear, completely purged, completely cleansed of that energy and the types of thought patterns that they have set forth, as well as the emotions within you. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.